this. I think I want to take my glasses off. That makes me a little less anxious when I'm not like, cause I can see myself right there. Well, I guess I should just start with saying welcome. Many, many moons have I thought about this Groundwork Collective YouTube channel and like what I want it to be and how I want people to feel. I really want this space to be calm, safe, like unhurried, for myself included as I film these things, where when someone tunes into one of my videos, they feel the pace of their body physically slow down. And so with that being said, hi, my name is Taylor Tatum. I am a social media influencer, a horse trainer, a photographer, dabbled in video. My husband Caleb and I, our 3 horses, 4 cats, and 2 dogs live in the high desert of Central Oregon. We rent a 60-acre property from our landlords that we are pretty close to. Our lifestyle really revolves around the land that we live on. That's a really deep value for us. We love living like outside of town on a relatively quiet piece of property. Oh, there's my cat. I love this kitty. How did you know I needed a therapy kitty? How did you know I needed that? Huh? Yeah, I love this cat. This is my cat Lori. She is one of the 2 original like barn cats that we had when we first moved here in 2022. So I think this YouTube channel honestly will just be such a fun way to get to incorporate like all the animals that we have and show you more of their personalities, tell a little bit more of their stories. This YouTube channel has been kind of a dream for, I want to say at least 2 to 3 years now. Like the first time I started really doing YouTube was back in 2023. I just like can't even tell you how much my life is different between now and 2023. If you've followed me for any length of time, or if you haven't, I just recently graduated with my master's in clinical mental health counseling. I found that after graduating, my life just seems to be taking a different path, and counseling is just not a good fit for me right now. With that being said, it does kind of morph and mold into every single interaction I have with people, with animals. And once you're trained in like, you know, skills in terms of conversation and mental health and wellness, and when you're trained to have the skills of clinician, that stuff never goes away. It's just like wholeheartedly a part of me and who I am. And so I'm still very much figuring out how my education lends itself to content creation and storytelling and relational horsemanship. It still feels like it's forming and it's not fully fledged. It's not something I've like totally have figured out just yet, you know? So in a lot of ways, this YouTube channel, I think one of the things that has held me back from creating a YouTube channel is like, well, I don't have my life figured out yet. I don't have my career figured out yet. I don't have answers for everyone about what I do and when I'm gonna do it and how things are gonna go. I also really tend to live with the weather and the seasons and the sun. So winter is not really the time of creating for me in general, or like building. It's more of like a time of rest. But I've been told so many times that I have a lot of irons in the fire. I don't really want that to change. All the best cowboys and cowgirls that I know do a lot of different things really well. As I was finishing my degree, I would say 6 months before graduation, I really knew that I wasn't going to be pursuing a career in counseling. That reinvigorated my desire to be on social media. What I plan to share here in terms of like categories and bullet points of this is what it's going to be is mostly training and horsemanship and trail riding. Like those are my 3 big overarching kind of this is what this is. I also want this space to be a place where we can share stories, where I can talk about my experiences, I can have guests on and people that I love to learn from or friends that I ride with, and just have it be like a very conversational space. Just like a long-term goal is kind of more interview content, sort of podcasty style, sharing stories, people that I'm in relationship with or people that help me with my horses. I don't want it to be polished and like too perfect where it's like you never see a mistake. A question I really wanted to stop and take a second to answer is why YouTube and why now? In this season of rest, I find that my desire to share via YouTube has been making my own content really for the first time, and it's a real experiment. So I hope that you'll come along with me and enjoy the process. Kind of like training a young horse. How do I get a halter on YouTube? I really want it to feel very beginner friendly. I don't want it to just be education in terms of my own experience. I want it to be also other people and their experiences as well. I'll probably also do some like gear reviews, show you what I use. I think that's like a very like applicable thing for YouTube to go like, here's the nitty gritty of like what I use and why. This channel is not going to be me expert posturing for you, pretending to be an expert, because I'm not. I am just a person who loves horses and has spent a lot of time and energy and money trying to have the best relationship I can with my horses for my goal, backcountry trail riding. That's what I've done and that's what I love to do. I love to camp with my horses, and so a very important part of my YouTube is also going to be showcasing my horses. That is something that I do a lot online, but I've never really taken like YouTube super seriously. You know, when I listed Warrior originally, I had some YouTube videos of him, but I've never made videos of Junie. And so there's like just kind of a part of me that wants to story tell and showcase them and any horse that like comes in for sale in a way that like is really kind of different, but similar to the way that most people do like YouTube videos, sale ads, to showcase the lifestyle that Caleb and I have built like around these amazing animals and share that. I have a lot more like refined ideas of what I want to do in terms of the horses that are for sale. And I'm also going to showcase them in kind of a problem solving way. Like, what does each horse do that's like unique to that horse? And how do I work around some of their like vices, for lack of a better term? The fundamentals that I work on with this horse, because this is something that is like a part of their world, that is a part of their history, that's a part of their trauma. Sometimes I get horses in that have had like really traumatic experiences. I think that will be kind of fun, like just a different way to showcase them and be like, this is how I work through this thing. Because every horse has something that isn't necessarily ideal. Even like the best horses ever, like they all have some sort of something as a part of their personality that then you have to kind of always be working with. But it's also, maybe somebody out there will watch a video of me working on something and go, oh, this like really relates to me and my horse, and can like help them in kind of like a different sense. That's one last thing. I feel as though social media has become this just opportunity to say whatever we want behind a screen. And a big part of why I haven't wanted to do more long form content and haven't wanted to showcase more of my horsemanship online is because there is such a hate culture around like social media and influencers and horse training, and honestly anything. You could go into politics, like anything is so polarized, and we are so mean to each other that I just haven't really wanted to participate in it to this point. I also didn't really have the bandwidth to take that on, and now I feel like I do, and I don't think that it needs to be this way. So one thing I ask is that if you're gonna engage with this content and you like it or you don't, that you just remember that I'm a person on the other side of the screen that like has to read through all your comments and is like the one filtering that stuff. Like it's just me right now. So I would appreciate if people participated in engaging with this content in the way that you would engage with me if we were in person. That's kind of how I feel about like social media engagement. Like I would just hope that people just remember I'm a person. Everybody online is just a person, except for AI, I guess. I think I'm done now. I'm gonna go get a horse and kind of be done. If this resonates with you, welcome. I'm so happy you're here. Thanks for tuning in and joining along as we learn together and as we shape this into what it will someday become. People ask me all the time, like, how can I support you in what you're doing? The biggest thing is to just like, follow, subscribe, comment on my videos, share them to your platforms when you feel like there's something useful and helpful. I feel like every content creator, especially on YouTube, says that at the end of their video, and there's a reason why. This type of content only does well if it reaches the right people, and your engagement on my videos and on my photos and on my different platforms is so incredibly important to me. So happy trails, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.